I'm Adam Wells. I work with Nudge Education. I'm a special educational needs and disabilities education expert and mind practitioner. So, what that really means is I'm not a teacher, but I'm willing to teach. 5 cornerstones at Nudge with our students, and that is movement, creativity, nutrition, reflection, and rest. Those are the 5 cornerstones to well-being that we hit with our weekly plans and hopefully daily with our students. Our students are all coming from backgrounds of being chronically disengaged from education, that be primary school or high school, sometime college, but not many are from college. It's mainly that primary school and high school that we get our students from. Our students can have a variety of complex needs as or reasons as to why they are out of education, and that's why at Nudge Education we go in with a trauma informed approach, with a mindset of what's happened rather than what's wrong with you. Because I mainly do the minds side of things, so that'll be more psychological sort of things, mainly to do with social, emotional, and mental health side of my teachings. So I aim to build positive assertiveness and resilience, how to recognize and identify our emotions, our fight and flight systems, mindfulness skills. There's a bunch that can go into that. So I really need to be creative in my approach to my students' interests. I know that I wanted to do postgraduate, but I didn't have a clue as to what I wanted to do. There was a couple of options that were up there on my list of I want to do this one or I want to do this one, for several reasons. My main one was social work, and then my second one was special educational needs and disabilities. So I really, when it came to looking for a placement, those were the two career paths that I was like, if I can get a placement that does similar or the actual job, that's quality. I would say that's probably the most biggest benefit of doing a placement is you're going to get so ahead of yourself in your own employability for when you finish university, because you've gained that experience that's so vital these days to be like, I can do this. I've shown that I've got the skills to do this, and I've also continuously developed my own skill set through my placement, and I can show that in my new position with you, or however you want to say that. Um, so that's why I wanted a placement, was to better my employability and to um, to really kind of cement in myself what I really wanted to do. And I feel like I have done that, like managing to get the position that I've got, which is special educational needs and disabilities. Um, yeah, I know that's what I want to now do as a postgraduate. Well, I'll talk about first the continuous professional development that that we have at Nudge Education that I've done so far. We're kind of the leading experts in fetal alcohol syndrome, and so we help a lot of students that have that diagnosis. For instance, uh, I would have never done that in my degree, but I have now had a 2 week training program where I learned a lot about fetal alcohol syndrome and how to help students who have that. I don't have any students right now who have that, but in the future I possibly will. Um, Another continuous professional development that I've done, sorry, is CPI training. It's basically like combat training, but just to help keep safe, sort of thing. Because a lot of the time I'm working alone, so and sometimes our students can get quite volatile. Not all the time. You can always talk yourself out of a situation if it ever gets heightened up, but if it was to get physical, then it's there to help you out if that was to ever happen. Another big thing that I learned was how to actually implement the theories and all of the stuff that I was learning in my degree actually into a job. So, which I feel like is going to prove really useful when I get back into my final year, because I'll be able to really contextualize on paper how a specific therapeutic type of delivery would help. I'd be able to basically do it better academically. And I would say that's one of the main big things as to what I've gained from placement is to, because obviously you read these things, but you don't really get to do them.
Mhm.
So it's kind of hard to tell, like hard to type that out sometimes. And I feel like I'll be able to do that way better now than what I did in the past. So I'd say it's bettered me in my academics. I could advise anyone for getting a placement is to start now. I mainly say that is because even if you don't get a placement, you're gonna find so much value in your own self-worth of your own employability, because as long as you work alongside people that support you, like Graduate Futures, for instance, you can build your CV, build your LinkedIn, get really good at cover letters, know how to social network yourself, and really put yourself out there in employability. That even if you don't get a placement, when you finish your final year, you're going to find yourself in such a good position, regardless of even if you don't get a placement, because you've done that process from year two to your final year. The steps that I took to get my placement was I first talked to my lecturer. That's what I first did. The lead lecturer that I had on my course, just to find out all the informational bits that I needed. That's what I did first. Got all that information, and then I contacted Graduate Futures and their placement team, and then I found out the bits and bobs that I needed from them. You're going to want to do that too if you do that as well, because they'll be able to tell you if there's different forms that you'll need to fill out with employment or yourself, and that will save you a lot of hassle as well. So do those things first, contact your lead lecturer, and then get in contact with Graduate Futures. Start working on your CV and run it through CV 360, because then you'll get like a really good base. So when you get in contact with Graduate Futures again, they'll be able to help you out a bunch with that CV even more. So even though that you got 100% on your CV on CV 360, it's going to be like 120% by the time that you're done with it and it's done and completed. The same comes with cover letters. With cover letters, really talk to Graduate Futures again about what best to put in your cover letter, because you're going to want to sell yourself as someone who is highly knowledgeable with the most up-to-date theory, and someone who is a great researcher and can bring those new theories and practical elements into the job, um, to that company. That's when you're going to want to start searching for placements, but you don't need to search for jobs that say placement. You can search for any job that you would find you would gain value and skills and just really gain something from that job role. So just go for anything really, as long as it goes with your course. But go for anything. And then just ask the employer, is it okay to do a placement with you? And then if they come back as no, they come back as no, it doesn't matter. But until you get yourself out there, you're not going to know. Best thing about
Okay.
placement is, I would say, that I have my graduate job already, really, because I didn't get a placement position. I got a job role in a company. I asked if I could do it as a placement, and they signed off the paperwork for me, which was great. And it doesn't go away after the year, and they're more than happy for me to work part time after that. So I can complete my final year and still chill and have the job, and then go back to full time once I'm done. And just be open and honest about what you want, how they're going to benefit, and then how you're going to benefit from it as well. And that will go a long way in getting that job role. I get reviewed every 2 weeks with my student to ensure quality assurance. And because I'm so proactive in my research and making sure that what I'm doing is correct for that individual as to what is researched out there to be the most benefit. Um, So I'm getting outstanding remarks on my reviews, and to say that in my second year, to say that I was thinking of doing it as a postgraduate, but now I'm doing it as a job, but I'm getting outstanding marks for doing it now. It's it's not overwhelming, but it's like wow. I like it. It's I don't know. It makes me really proud of myself. Really, yeah.